In my book Lamplighters, there's a section called Metaphorical Thoughtscapes. All the chapters in this section really revolve around metaphor. Not metaphor so much on the linguistic sense or the conscious sense, but rather more the metaphor at the unconscious level. The kind of metaphor and metaphors and the language that we use to ourselves. The way we represent the world to ourselves on the inside. This particular chapter is called Hide and Seek. The game. A group of children were spending a day in a large country park. After their picnic lunch, someone said, "Shall we play hide and seek?" They all agreed. So the first seeker volunteered and told the others, "I'll close my eyes and count to 10 out loud, while you all go and hide somewhere in the woods. Then when I've finished, I'll set out to try and find you." And off they scurried as the seeker started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to which was added in almost the same breath that timeless phrase, "Coming, ready or not." The game continued unabated over the next hour as the afternoon sun moved through the trees and the bushes and shrubs, and the shadows got longer. Eventually it was tea time, and everyone congregated together and shared what their experiences had been through the playing of the game. Amazingly, everyone had got to discover so much more about the fascinating close-up details of the nature, the flora and the fauna of the country park, and all in the course of enjoying and being absorbed in play. The trance and the metaphor. And I'm reminded here that there's something altogether hypnotic and trancey about a game of hide and seek, especially in such a setting. Someone closes their eyes, someone counts to 10, people scurry off in their own directions, into their own separate sets of woodland reality, to hide, and someone comes quietly seeking to locate just exactly where all the people are, and then everyone returns to the fold. Here's the thing though, in the children's game, the hiders are only hiding their bodies, and the seekers are only looking for physical signs. They may notice more if they go very quietly, perhaps catching the sound of a sigh or a breath, or maybe a breaking twig or a rustle of leaves, perhaps seeing a footprint in bare earth or a snatch of coloured clothing, or perhaps noticing a fragrance or perfume. Or then again, maybe just perceiving that innate sixth sense of a presence, and then, got you! I've walked through a number of metaphorical landscapes as the seeker for people who have been either hiding from themselves, wanting to change some things they have been doing, or who wanted help with finding a particular part of themselves that is lost. In itself, this is a fascinating game of hide and seek, sometimes with part of them joining me as the seeker, sometimes less perceptibly so. There is some occasional role sharing, such as they close their eyes and I count to 10. And I may even occasionally say, "Coming, ready or not." From then, the entire game continues in their thoughts and perceptions. There's also a kind of metaphor of life within or above and outside this game, isn't there? And when we think of "isn't there" like that, What exactly is being pointed at? What exactly isn't there? In what direction is I seeking? In life, is it that we run off as hiders and then get so used to our own realities that we lose track of what is actually going on here? Then at some point further down the tracks of our lives, through the woods, we have a sudden realization that this was actually something else originally. We started out as hiders and then turned into seekers, looking for the way back to ourselves. Finding ourselves. We've all heard the proposal that one of the most important things we can do in life is to find ourselves. Once we've done that, then we can proceed, knowing our and the very true purpose. How do we know when we've found ourselves? Are we wearing the raiment of a seeker or a hider to give us a clue? Who spots who first? Conclusion. If we sit very quietly still and make no disturbance, will any seeker ever find us? Perhaps not. And there are people for whom life is like that. If we draw attention to ourselves as a hider and get found, we then get an opportunity to be a seeker. Seekers get to enjoy the game more because there's always some action going on, and they are at the centre of the action. There's also great fun to be had in finding and catching everyone. However, seekers can also get lost and not find their way back home. Those who have been both hiders and seekers are the most fulfilled through the game, as they have experienced it all, from all perspectives. They also get to know every path and track, every tree and bush, every nook and cranny in the woods, and always get to find their way home. At the end of the day, this is an ongoing game, and you need to decide whether you are a hider or a seeker, and what you want to do next.